What's going on, crew? Dude, we are done, Kyle, with day 2. Tell me that's
Uh,
not incredible.
I honestly can't believe it. I have a question for the audience because Wes, you and I were going back and forth as this was going on. I can't believe how many people have gone on this journey with us, but is 3 days tough? Like, give us some feedback. Is 3 days for
Yeah.
3 hours? Would it be better if it's a 2 day format or a 1 day format? I just don't want to. I want MSP employees here, right? So let us know in chat. Like, do you like the format that we have? We have a lot of vulnerable moments of did we do it right? But these people, I want to first actually, Wes, I'm going to talk a lot today. I'm just
Go
hyped up.
for it.
Everyone right now that you guys see on screen, and there's a couple missing that have really helped make this event happen. And I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you, Bob, Eric, and Tara, so much for donating your time. Also, Joey, Princess. Oh my God, if you want to know
Oh yeah.
MVP, it's Princess. Katie Vreeland, right? Like, oh my God, the website looked perfect. Man, I just got so much
Katie's in the
love for
chat.
her.
We should bring Katie up on stage. Katie,
Yeah,
are
let's
you
get her
camera
in.
ready?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone, like, big round of applause. Like, our
Yes.
volunteers really helped this.
And a lot of people behind the scenes, you just never know. Bob Miller, you've been critical with your can you kind of talk through
Man.
the content committee team as well, Bob, and just name those folks?
Yeah, I'll get the the
Putting you on
list
the
that I
spot.
gave you. Yeah.
Also, Francis on our end has done a ton around the marketing collateral. We've shared out speaker kits. Y'all, one thing you got to know: zero people here get paid for this.
Yep.
Zero people are doing like this is all just part time work. So we're not perfect. We're a little rough around the edges at times on what we're doing, but man, this is just a vision that's come to life just from Dustin Bolander and MSP, just like y'all who had this idea, and off we are to where we're at now is
I,
just incredible.
I got the list now. So yeah. The selection committee. Yeah, we should name them, right? So we had Degley Mendez is on there, Ann Westerheim, Nett Lynch, Jennifer Butler, Matt Claren, Andy Laren, Heather Johnson, and David Coles. All were members of the content selection committee. So they really do deserve a round of applause.
And they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, I'm seeing something weird backstage. I don't know if it's a technical glitch or not, but hang on. Let me kind of share my screen
Who could
I
this
think I have to shave
possibly
my
be?
screen. I got to
Yeah,
shave
let
my
me
screen. So,
let me share my screen and see what's going on here. Hang on a minute.
Freaking bugs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey!
Mr.
I
Matt
was like,
Lee.
who
I know
could
that
possibly
guy.
have an epic beard like that?
Did
It
somebody
wasn't
say
easy
acid
top
3
by
times? I'm not sure what happened or how I got here, but I'm all of a sudden here now. It's interesting.
Do you
Matt Lee,
guys
how
remember
you
the
been?
great beard shave that happened? What was that, Matt? 2 years ago?
Mhm.
Oh, hold on,
Yeah,
I got another
the 3
screen share
years
for y'all.
ago.
Oh,
3 years
That
ago,
would
and
be
it was
3 years ago
shortly
in November.
it
Yeah.
was shortly after the beard shave, and we were on a call,
Oh no.
and Matt's beard was like, I don't know, a week and a half in, and I was like, he looks like a 23-year-old kid that just got his first job in a logging camp.
Um,
Oh,
y'all,
did somebody put a link? Oh no.
how about this?
Oh man.
Oh
Oh
my
my
That
god.
guy.
Wow.
Who are
Alex
those
looks so bad
guys?
right there. I'm gonna cry right
Dude.
now, you guys. That's not okay.
It's like,
Oh man.
I got to get
can't
the
look at
copy
this
of
guy
that.
behind you.
Me.
look at this
I
guy
can't look
behind you
away.
that's
George
like
back
leading the
there.
YOLO life.
Is that George?
That's George Bardisi.
I think this is
Yeah,
George
it's
Bardisi
George.
yeah, back there behind us in the beard and the Bob Ross head.
Can you take it off the screen? It's hurting my eyes.
Matt, may that never happen again.
Never.
Okay,
No,
Josh.
unless I'm trying to run from the country or something and like disappear, then maybe, but not in between.
So you guys, I want to see if you guys are seeing the same thing or not, but I'm noticing between yesterday and today, between all the talks, I'm noticing kind of this trend where we as an industry, and I'm super old, so like, back when I started in the industry in 1786, it really was about the tech, and we didn't understand what the techs did and the engineers did, and that's why we kept them back in the corner and in a closet. A lot of these talks now, Jordan Silva, Megan Killian, all these different people, the Feel Good Glows this morning, right, with Brian, we're starting to see a trend, at least I'm starting to see a trend where this isn't about the tech. This is about the human beings that are behind the desk of the customer that you serve and giving a shit about them and their business and their future. Are you guys seeing the same thing, that we're moving more into a human-centric business and a less
Yeah.
tech-centric business?
I mean, I could point you to some of our communities that say automation is going to eliminate the need for people.
I think it'll
Slash sarcasm.
change. Well, I know you're being a bit sarcastic, but I think in genuine, it's going to change to where the people have to matter more. Like if we can all automate the same crap and it puts out the same outcome and result as a desired state configuration, then I've got to make it better. I've got to improve your human aspect of it. I've got to improve the touch. And I think there's this aspect of, John Street came to me and kind of was jumping my gun, our former CEO, about Matt, what's next, right? And asking me what's next. And the connotation is like at some point we're going to miss that human touch again.
Yep.
Like it's going to be really cool not to have some AI generated version of Wes as the way I see Wes. And like, how do you put the human element back into it? I think there's the other aspect of it too. Somebody said, people, and y'all shut me up when you want to shut me up. Just throw me the damn hook. I can stop whenever. But I think back to that human connection, human element, they care about you caring about them, and that's it. It's because we are commoditizing a lot of this. Angry Birds, just Angry Birds is, whether it's the chicken or the other. I did see your image, by the way, Josh. That's -1 Matt point. But the point is, as we get to where things are so commoditized, then the value has to be, okay, I trust that you can make this work. Now tell me how you're going to understand my business, make me better than my competitor with the same tools, blah, 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 same things, right? So,
Well, and people work with people they like. At the end of the day, it's not a robot that I like. It's not a computer I like. It's the person.
Yeah,
So
Well,
true
it's
story.
the S in MSP that we sometimes displace. Service.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Well, and Charlie, I just put this up on the screen. The market assumes we know the tech. It's the trust. I was literally just going to say this to Matt Lee. It's like when I go to my doctor, I don't question where he got his degree from, whether it was a good school or a bad school, how many years he did in his internship. I just trust he has a degree in medicine. I trust that he's a doctor. So whether I'm getting an MSP that has a Matt Lee or an MSP that's got a kid living in his mom's basement, I make an assumption that in order to be an MSP, you have a technical background. Am I going to discover that you don't? Yes. Is it going to take me 6 months? Probably. Right. So this has got to
Depends on
boil
how
down
bad
to,
they are. Could be real quick.
well, and but to that point, right? It's like you're a seasoned, really, really good MSP, but you don't have that personal touch, or you don't go far enough to build that trust into that MSP. But Billy down the street that lives in his mom's basement understands digital and social and caring about people because he's Gen Z. And he goes in and he's like, I want to learn more about your business and what you do and what your roadblocks are and how we make you successful. That kid wins
Yeah.
the business every single day. Less qualified tech, doesn't have the depth, doesn't have a 24 support bench, but he wins because he gives a shit.
I'm just trolling the
When you
audience
give
by
a
bringing up
shit,
Patterson.
you can make a
and
lot of
Shine,
mistakes.
Just trolling the audience.
But that's the whole thing, right? Is when you're human and you build relationships, it doesn't matter how big. I mean, there are some worlds, I get it, where being a nerd causes problems, or not being the nerd that I need to be causes problems. But like, thinking back to my MSP, we made a shit ton of mistakes, but we were growing really fast.
Same.
And the people that built relationships, I got from Nordstrom's. Why? Because they were really good at being curious. They were really good at asking questions. They were great at just saying, how are you doing? And not just
Yeah.
saying, okay, now can I fix this for you?
Matt,
Well-
people have to have a like a license to like cut hair, cut beards, all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
whatever. You have a gal that you go to that cuts your beard. Let's say another
The guy
person
now,
comes
me and
up.
her broke up.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
ruining my thing.
She
So
scolded me because I was late one day and I felt terrible about it, so I didn't go back.
so the way that I showed her, I felt terrible, but was I just never showing up again? But right. But
Checkbook is
but
gonna
this
be
new
back on the-
guy, if you had somebody come along that was half price, how hard would it be to get you to move from this guy
Sure.
to somebody who was half price?
Yeah.
You know, there's a trust factor in there. Not everybody gets to touch the beard.
It's fair. That's accurate. But back to the other point of like the doctor analogy. Somebody in the chat said something pretty smart there too, right? But only some doctors partner with you for health. Others try to churn you through as fast as possible. The difference is palpable. And I think that'll always be there, but at least with doctors, there's a barrier to entry to be a doctor, right? And right now we're still living in the space where there is really not much barrier to entry to be us. And so therefore there isn't this leveling aspect of at least they all can MSP, right? Like, so you don't have that going for you. I think that means the personal touch is even higher because there's always another competitor down the street ready to come tell them how to do it better. And I'll also add to this that additionally, the growing adoption of SMBs towards code consuming entities, identity accentrism, SaaS consumption will continue to make things work easier and more and more automatable by clicks. There'll all be API calls and things that make things a lot easier, which means that people will be there with a very robust solution that you may or may not be there with and not have the people skills. So there's two sides of that have to be dealt with, in my opinion.
I'm just going to throw out there this thing that just popped up on the screen. I would go to that camp to be a Zamboni driver.
It does
Dude,
seem like
totally.
it'd be fun, doesn't it?
100%.
You're not lying. That
No.
ice would be thin, bro.
No. Yeah. There is 0% of us that have ever seen a Zamboni on an ice rink and went, I'd like to try that.
Wes,
I-
I'm gonna. You're definitely the person to sit back, be quiet, listen. But I can see the look on your face. There's something intelligent that you're
turning.
thinking right now.
Well, it's less about this sort of conversation because I didn't want to interrupt it, and more just about y'all. Can we just take a minute and say that we're $28,681 raised, which
crazy.
means that we've officially beaten the 28K. So last year's 25K, we raised 28. We're only
Nice.
2 days in, and we've already beaten the goal. So
Yeah,
of last year,
Amazing.
$681.
amazing.
We've already beaten it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
All right,
can
but
we
let's
just do
start.
the
Come on,
math
y'all.
here?
How many are still listening right now? All right,
50.
let's go. Let's add some more
58,
money to the Rural Tech Fund. Like, let's just right here before we close this out. Can we add another like $2,000? Can we get this done? Like, come on, y'all. I'll shave my
So-
beard if you don't. Like, I'm just. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say that. It's not happening.
just one. Just one. So let's do the math. Chris said on the keynote yesterday, $7 is all it takes to impact one student. So if you take that 28,681, divide it by 7, yes, I had to use a calculator because I'm not that smart. That's 4,097 students that we've impacted. 4,097 opportunities for a student to hear that, wait a second, this whole like IT thing, this whole technology thing, this whole robotics thing, this whole space and science and flight thing, whatever it might be, is for me. That's awesome. That we talk about paying it forward, but how often do we actually pay it forward? Now,
Yeah.
I want to hear, I want us to be known for this. It's not just about you giving money. You know, we're talking about that a lot because we're passionate about it. And many of you
Sure.
have given, but it's also about there's other ways that you can go and contribute. Matt, I'm curious to know from you, like, you got a background, like what resonates about Rural Tech Fund for you?
So like we kind of stepped into an opportunity that hasn't yet fully materialized, right? When COVID happened and almost all HR departments rethought where they drew their geographic bounds for hiring humans, right? I mean, how many of you have hired a remote tech or a remote human in your organizations in the last 3 years or 4 years? How many of you? Okay. So what is missing though is there are still students in a school somewhere. And I grew up in a relatively, I wouldn't say austere, that's not fair, but definitely small schools, small town minds, small things. And, you know, what's interesting is people in that environment sometimes think that's the only thing they have. I either have to leave my place I love to go live somewhere else to get opportunities. But more and more and more, education and bringing capabilities to those small schools could mean somebody could go earn $100,000 in the same farm they were in before, right? And have connectivity. Growing in the connectivity aspects of rural areas combined with the knowledge and education means you could go earn way more than you ever could in a town. We could be seeing in the next X number of years kind of a reshaping of kind of how the economics work in the United States and maybe globally. Around a small town could still have a tax base that is extremely large. You could start seeing some of those things play where we don't have to be in a big city that's crowded to have all the same things long term, you know, between Amazon and deliveries and other aspects of this. It could be a very interesting path forward that we haven't seen the byproduct of yet. And so I think digging in and investing in the youth means we're preparing for when that time is where it is. And so I'm a big believer in that. So see you, buddy. Love you.
I love that.
So I don't
I
know
love
this
that.
about y'all. How many of you are from like rural communities or underserved communities? I grew up in one. So I mean, I think it's more common than we put out there. I know we
Sure.
had nothing like this when I was growing up.
So I'm not in a rural community, but like, so I'm south of Denver, but I'm also north of Pueblo. And it's really interesting to look at the opportunity that's in Denver, Colorado for every single kid growing up. And then you literally go an hour and a half south into Pueblo. And I literally like went to school or grew up with kids that were like, I mean, I guess I'm going to go work at the prison because that's what my dad did,
Sure.
and that's what my
Yeah,
grandfather
that's
did.
exactly my point. That's exactly
You
my
know,
point, Eric.
like, yeah, it's like they don't know. It's like it's a question. It's like, I guess I'm gonna go work at the prison. Like they haven't even thought it through. You
Ha-
know?
Has anybody paused and just thought about the relative amount of time we as humans got back by removing most windshield time? Like if you
Oh,
just think back 5 years, like
Yeah.
that part of that, if you were in that city, what made me think of this, Eric, is I might have to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to get into Colorado Springs or get into Denver. And that would be 4 hours of my day if I chose to have that type of opportunity. Now I can have that same kind of opportunity without 4 hours of windshield time.
yeah.
Right. And it's
I
just
control the
that
lighting.
part of
I
that I
control
think
the air
is,
conditioning.
yeah.
I have a better chair. Like I have all the better things. And PAX 8 learned this. To your point, Matt, PAX 8 learned this when they were forced to go remote, and all of a sudden they were like, wait a minute, you mean we can hire people anywhere in the United States, and we might be finding people that are not in Denver that are really, really, really talented people?
But
And
we,
they did, and
yeah.
every single company did, right? They all found
Yep.
super powerful people, but those powerful
Derek.
people would go work at the prison if it wasn't for the Rural Tech Fund.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
That's fair.
Yep.
And I also
I-
think that what that means is there's probably a ton of diamonds in the rough that maybe would have been stuck in a certain locale that have opportunities now in ways they wouldn't have had before. And if we can educate them, train, and expose them to things, that's probably the best thing we can do.
I'll share
true.
one story of this. In my Perch and ConnectWise days, we had Eastern Kentucky University reached out to us and said, "Hey, we've started this new cyber program, and it's literally meant for people that were in the coal mines that are going to come into a
Yeah.
world of cyber. And we've got a whole training curriculum we built for them, all this kind of stuff." And they said, "We actually even have grant funding. We'll let them work for you for free for, I think it was 6 months. We'll pay for their salary at this particular level." As long as you'll give them a shot. And then our ask is, if they're great, we just want you to legitimately consider hiring them full time. And we said, sure. We hired 2 of them and they were stellar. And they made that comment, Matt, of like, now I'm not going deep into the coal mines and I'm working from home and I'm making almost double the salary I was making with infinitely more safety overhead, right? And none of this cancer risk of literally being deep in the coal mine. All I can think of is
Sure.
Eric Zoolander. I don't know why it's the midget comes to in my
For
mind.
kids who can't read good,
But-
is that where you're going
That's
with
right,
that?
and want to. Well, just he's like hitting in the very beginning of
Yep.
the movie. He's like hitting he's a coal miner or whatever, like a fake one.
Charlie.
Anyway, but yeah, that to me, that's what this is about. Except now, substitute this for a kid that never actually has to go into the coal mine. I mean, isn't that amazing? And I think that this resonates to your point, Tara, because so many of us come from rural areas, and the ethos of the MSP is by nature a small business themselves of people that are 5, 10, 15, 20 people on average. And these are the people that are small businesses serving small businesses. And so I think this just cuts right to the heart of who we are as the ethos of MSP people ourselves.
I mean, I think about it. If I had known about all of this stuff when I was younger, y'all, I would have taken over the world already. No joke.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Tara does solve all problems, right? No, not to
Maybe
confuse
we
with
know.
Tara
Maybe we
does
lucked
solve all
out that I
problems.
didn't know earlier, but I'd like to give others a chance, I guess. Oh,
So we got Rejection Con Day 3 coming up. I would love to hear from folks in chat. Anything that you heard today that was awesome, or any big takeaway, or anything coming up tomorrow that you're excited about. Would y'all give us some chat and comment? I want to hear from y'all. What are you interested in other than I got the black lung pop?
Black
Y'all
lung
did
pop.
come alive on that one.
I have a bit
Tara,
of a salacious statement I'll make here, real
Go
quick,
for it.
Wes. Just for one thing I've been saying, I'm going to say it at RSA as well. I think for the first time, I genuinely believe that the state of cybersecurity for SMB will be better than enterprise in the next 5 years.
Okay.
That for the first time, because of APIs, normalization, licensed infrastructure, like the move from servers, the decrement of that, those things will be so automatable that the skill sets and capabilities are normalized and scalable. And enterprise will be married to their brownfield anchor for the rest of their life, at least until new startups start happening that aren't doing those things. So
Interesting.
anyways, but yeah, thought I'd make that pop
Interesting.
out there.
I like that. We're gonna have to turn that into a fully fledged live stream or talk or something. I'd
I'm
love to
in.
hear more on that.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
agree with you. Like this boils down to how do you empower them to be a better business, not just a better customer?
Yep.
If you are focused on them becoming a better customer, they can get that anywhere. If you're trying to make them, it's Matt, you've seen this in every single presentation I've ever given, right? To truly inspire somebody, you show them their superpowers, you don't show them yours.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Some
And you're
good stuff
exactly
in
right.
some good stuff in chat. Denise has already kind of made a match with Seven Figure, one of our sponsors. I love that. That's what we're here for. Let's make sure we find good fits for one another. That's amazing, right? Let's see. There was one earlier that Derek's AI will hollow out the middle class SaaS.
Yes.
Yep.
SaaS. Yeah. Not to speak towards the future of what happens to SaaS. I mean, you mean at some point we don't have to program one UI to rule them all, then one UX that everyone can fall in love with? I could actually just interact with APIs and do whatever the hell I want from wherever the hell I want just because I ask an agent. Oh man, girl, we getting serious right now. Yeah, that's
There's
going to change the world, genuinely.
I want to bring one up. If you can bring this one up, Eric, from Sheila. So she's mentioning Technology Student Association, TSA Web. I was actually a TSA Web member. I was a TSA student way back in the day. And I remember I was in rural Kentucky, and I remember, like, for the first time going to Louisville, Kentucky, the big city, the big monstrous city of Louisville. And we did some TSA presentations. I remember that. I remember those days. Those were the early days where I was like learning HTML and I mean, all that good stuff. So thank you, Sheila, for sharing that link. That is a great way for people to get involved in just what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Derek, I screenshotted your comment about AI will hollow out the middle class ass. You will see that tomorrow in my talk. That is a phenomenal comment.
It's accurate.
Checks out.
I love it. I
Checks
love it.
out.
Well, y'all, this has been super fun. Man, these things are exhausting, but so much fun.
So worth it.
Y'all have no idea the amount of like stress puddles all of us are leading up into this, and then we kick off, and this thing just works, and people are loving it and hitting the hearts, and people are connecting, and it's like, man, and the money rolls in for RTF. It's just so cool to see all of this happen. So just a genuine thank you to all of you, and we still have one day left. So what would be great, what would mean a lot to us, if you'll go and share Rejection Con with others, just a quick post on what you liked about it, why others should join. Tell them rejectioncon.com, have them come and join us. We still have time for more. All sessions are recorded, so you can still go and watch the ones you've missed. So we still have room for more people. And just want to say thank you to all of y'all. And the esteemed Dr. Matt Lee, thank you for joining us as always, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. And I'll end with what I end with a lot. Thank you for being part of the self-selected ones that are choosing to move forward. Like, you're above the 50%, right? That's awesome. So thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Love y'all. Thanks.
See you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye, friends.